Mara moved like a quiet shadow in the grand 7-star Royal Crest Hotel. Every morning was the same: polish the tables, fix the sheets, wipe the mirrors, and leave without anyone even noticing she was there. She was a black hotel maid, small in presence, soft in voice, and invisible in a world where millionaires walked like they owned the sky itself. But today, something different waited for her. She entered Suite 1902, the most expensive room on the 19th floor, usually home to celebrities, CEOs, and men whose watches alone cost more than her life savings. The room was empty, silent, peaceful. She began cleaning slowly, humming under her breath. Then suddenly, her phone rang. A cold wave ran down her spine. That number. That unknown number. She knew it by heart. No. Not here, she whispered to herself. She looked around. No one was supposed to be inside. She inhaled deeply, pressed the green button, and held the phone against her ear. Hello? Yai Kaken Jihoran. Hello. Yes, I can hear you. Her voice switched instantly from quiet English to sharp, perfect Dutch, the kind of Dutch only a diplomat or high-level interpreter would speak. Her tone was firm, confident, nothing like the shy, invisible maid she pretended to be. The caller spoke fast. Too fast. Mara's expression changed from calm to tense. What Bettelji? Nay. Nay, ik ben niet teruggekomen. Ik ben veilig. What do you mean? No, I haven't returned. I'm safe. Her hand began to tremble. Her eyes kept checking the door, but she checked too late. Behind her, standing in the doorway with a glass of water in his hand, was Leon Hartman, one of the richest and most private millionaires in the hotel. He had returned earlier than expected. He heard everything. Mara froze. The phone nearly slipped from her hands. Leon wasn't like the other rich men. He didn't shout, didn't laugh, didn't ask rude questions. He just stared deeply, curiously, at the maid who suddenly sounded like a foreign intelligence agent. When Mara ended the call, silence filled the room. Heavy, uncomfortable silence. Leon stepped forward slowly, almost carefully. I didn't know you speak Dutch, he said softly. Mara swallowed hard. Sir, it was just a call. Just a call? His voice held no anger, only confusion. And a strange interest. Most hotel maids don't speak Dutch like that. Or answer secret calls like that. She lowered her eyes. I'm sorry. I will finish cleaning and leave. But Leon wasn't done. What did he want? He asked. Mara shook her head. Nothing important, sir. He smiled slightly. People don't tremble over unimportant things. Her heart raced. How did he notice that? Why did he care? She wasn't supposed to draw attention. She wasn't supposed to speak another language here. She wasn't supposed to be noticed at all. Leon placed the water glass down and leaned against the table. Tell me something, he asked gently. Who are you really? Mara's chest tightened. She knew she couldn't answer that. Not here, not now. So she bowed slightly, grabbed her cleaning cart, and tried to walk past him. But just as she reached the door, Leon spoke again, quietly but with a tone she could not ignore. Whoever you were before. It's okay, he said. But you should know if you ever need help, I'm not as blind as the others. Her footsteps halted. Her breath stopped for a second. Why would he say that? Why did he look at her like he already knew she was hiding something? She didn't turn back. She simply hurried down the hallway, disappearing like a whisper. But something had changed. For the first time in years, someone had seen her. Someone who wasn't supposed to. Someone powerful. And that single phone call had just destroyed the quiet life she worked so hard to build. Leon Hartman was a man who noticed everything. In business, in people, in silence, he always saw the small details others ignored. That was why he was a millionaire. That was why people feared him. But today, he was not looking at numbers or luxury deals. He was thinking about the quiet, black maid who spoke Dutch like a spy. Mara tried to pretend nothing happened. She tried to hide behind her usual silence. But Leon's eyes followed her every movement. Even when she wasn't looking, he noticed everything: how her shoulders tightened whenever her phone buzzed, how she avoided crowded spaces, how she walked like someone trained to disappear. That evening, Leon made a request at the reception: "Send Mara to clean my suite again." The staff froze. Guests never requested maids by name, especially not someone like Leon Hartman. When the message reached Mara, she felt her stomach twist. Why did he want to see her again? Did he know something? Did he hear too much? Still, she had no choice. She pushed her cleaning cart towards Suite 1902. Leon stood by the window when she entered. He didn't look at her right away. He let the silence pull her nerves tight like a string. "You came," he said, finally turning. She kept her eyes on the floor. "You requested cleaning, sir." Leon gave a small smile. "Yes, but cleaning is not what I'm interested in." Her hands froze on the mop handle. He walked toward her with slow, quiet steps. "Tell me, Mara, where did you learn Dutch?" "I don't remember," she said quickly. "A lie," he replied calmly. "Your accent was too clean, too professional." She felt her throat tighten. Leon studied her, fully, carefully, like a man solving a puzzle piece by piece. He noticed the little scar near her wrist, the sharpness in her eyes, the way she always kept her back to a wall. "People don't become like you by accident," he said. "You've been trained. You've been somewhere important." Mara set the mop aside and stepped back. "Sir, please. I just want to work. That's all." "No," Leon said gently. "That is not all." She looked at him for the first time, and he saw the fear she tried to hide. "I'm not here to hurt you," he said softly. "But I heard enough to know you are running from something." Mara breathed out slowly. "Please stop." Leon let out a sigh and walked toward a small table. Then he placed a white card down. "My number," he said. "If you ever feel unsafe, call me." She stared at the card, unsure whether to pick it up or ignore it. "And one more thing," Leon added. "I won't ask again about the phone call, but you should know something." He paused, his voice dropping lower. "When people talk like that, when they tremble like that, it means danger is close. Very close." Her heartbeat stumbled. Did he know something she didn't? Had someone found her? Before she could speak, her phone vibrated again. Unknown number. Her face drained of color. Leon leaned forward. "That's the same number, isn't it?" Mara quickly silenced the phone. "Sir, I need to go." She rushed toward the door, but Leon grabbed the handle first, gently blocking her exit. "Mara," he said, "whoever is calling you, they aren't calling for small talk." Her breathing grew sharp. She shook her head, refusing to answer. "Look at me," Leon said. Slowly, she lifted her eyes. "You're not safe," he whispered. "But I can help you." She pulled the door open and escaped into the hallway before he could say another word. Leon's voice followed her like a warning echo. "If you want to survive, you need someone on your side." Mara didn't look back. She walked fast. Too fast, because Leon was right. Danger was close. Closer than she could ever admit. Mara did not sleep that night. She sat on the edge of her small, quiet staff room, staring at her phone like it was a bomb waiting to explode. The unknown number had called 3 more times. No message. No voice. Just silence. Silence from people who never meant peace. She wrapped her arms around herself. For years she tried to build a new life. A simple life. A life where nobody knew her name, her past, her skills, her mistakes. She swept floors, washed sheets, cleaned rooms, and swallowed her truths like bitter medicine. But now one phone call, one moment had cracked everything open. Outside, the city slept peacefully. Inside her, storms collided. By morning, her eyes were tired but alert. She walked through the hotel halls with her usual quiet steps, but today, she felt watched. Every shadow felt heavier. Every whisper felt sharper. And when she turned a corner, she stopped. Leon Hartman stood there, waiting. Not in a suit. Not like a millionaire, but in simple clothes, like a man who had stayed awake thinking about her. "Mara," he said softly. She tried to turn away, but he stepped in front of her. "I won't push you," he said. "But I know fear when I see it. And you're carrying too much alone." She closed her eyes. "Please, sir. Let me work." "I saw something last night," he said. Security cameras picked up two men in the parking area. They were looking for staff access doors. They didn't belong here. Her heart dropped. No, they couldn't have found her so soon. Leon continued. "I also checked the caller's country code, Netherlands. You know that's not random." Mara inhaled sharply. "You searched the call?" "I protect my own space," he replied. "And right now you were part of it." Something inside Mara snapped: fear, frustration, exhaustion. She couldn't hold the silence anymore. "Why are you doing this?" She whispered. "I'm just a maid." Leon took a step closer, lowering his voice. "No, you're someone pretending to be a maid." Her hands shook. He saw it. He had always seen it. Finally, she sat down on a bench near the hallway wall, her legs too weak to stand. Leon sat beside her, at a respectful distance, but close enough to show he wasn't leaving. "I used to work for a European corporation," she said slowly. "Not cleaning, translating, interpreting, handling messages, sensitive information. Things normal people never hear." Leon nodded, listening deeply. "One day, I found something," she continued. "Something dangerous. Money, people. Illegal things. I heard a conversation I wasn't supposed to hear." Her voice cracked. "They came after me. They said I knew too much. I ran, I crossed borders. I changed countries. I changed my name. I stopped being who I was, just to survive." Leon's eyes were steady, not shocked, just understanding. "They think I'm back," she whispered. "They think I want to expose them. That's why they called. That's why men are here. They found me." Leon took a slow breath. "And you were going to deal with that alone?" "What choice do I have?" She replied. "People like them. They don't fear poor maids. But they also don't forgive traitors." Leon turned toward her more fully. "You are not a traitor. You're a survivor." Her eyes filled with tears she fought hard to hide. "Survivors don't live long in their world." Leon exhaled. "You said they're powerful." "Yes," she whispered. "So am I." Mara froze. He reached into his pocket and pulled out a small card, black. Metallic, simple, but with a symbol she recognized instantly. Her breath hitched. "You," she whispered. "You're not just a businessman." Leon gave a soft, cold smile. "No, I've been investigating that same corporation for years. You're the missing piece I needed." Mara felt the world tilt. He extended his hand, palm up, gentle but firm. "Let me help you," he said. "Let me protect you." For the first time, Mara didn't pull away. But before she could answer, her phone rang again. Unknown number. Same warning. Same danger. Leon looked at the phone, then at her. "Mara," he said quietly. "They're closer than you think." The hotel lobby buzzed with morning noise, guests checking out. Luggage rolling, the smell of fresh coffee filling the air. But Mara only heard one thing, her own heartbeat. Too fast, too loud, too scared. Leon's warning repeated in her head like an echo she couldn't escape. "They're closer than you think." She tried to calm her breathing as she walked toward the service elevators. She had work to finish, rooms to clean, A role to play. Pretending was the only thing keeping her alive. But when she stepped into the elevator, something felt wrong. Too quiet. Too still. Too empty. She pressed the button for the 14th floor. The doors began to close, but at the last second, 2 hands stopped them. 2 men stepped in. Tall, pale, sharp eyes, and accents that hit her like ice. Dutch. Mara's throat closed. She turned her face away, pretending to fix her cleaning gloves. Hiding the tremble in her fingers, the taller man pressed the button for the 19th floor, the floor where Leon stayed. The elevator started moving. Silence stretched heavy and tight. Then, one of the men whispered her real name. Not Mara. Her real name. The one she hadn't heard in years. The one she buried in another country. Her knees almost buckled. She kept her eyes glued to the elevator floor. The shorter man leaned slightly toward her. "You disappeared for a long time," he said in Dutch, "but we always find loose ends." Her breath shook. Her pulse exploded in her ears. She forced herself not to react, not to show fear. Fear only fed them. The elevator dinged at the 14th floor, her stop. She stepped out quickly. But the taller man blocked the door with his arm. "You're going the wrong way," he said. Mara's chest tightened. So hard it hurt. The doors began closing, then a hand pulled them apart. Leon. He stepped inside the elevator with calm confidence, like he owned the entire building. His eyes landed on Mara first. Her fear was loud, even if her voice wasn't. "Mara," he said, "I've been looking for you. Come with me." The men exchanged glances. Their plan had been interrupted. Leon didn't wait. He gently took her arm and pulled her out of the elevator. But just before the doors closed, the shorter man gave a thin smile. "We'll see you soon," he said. The doors slid shut. Mara's legs felt weak. Leon kept a steady hand on her shoulder, guiding her into a restricted maintenance hallway where cameras didn't reach. "Are you hurt?" he asked. She shook her head, fighting to breathe. Leon looked down at her hands. They trembled uncontrollably. "That was them, wasn't it?" he asked. Mara nodded, tears burning the corners of her eyes. "They know. They know who I am." Leon let out a slow breath, anger flickering under his calm exterior. "They're not here for conversation," he said. "They're scouting, testing, watching your reaction." She leaned against the wall, her heartbeat refusing to slow. "I thought I was safe here," she whispered. "You were," Leon said. "Until the phone call." He paced a moment, thinking fast. "They must have tracked the signal. They want to grab you quietly. No public scenes. No evidence." A shiver ran through her spine. "What do I do now?" she asked softly. Leon stepped closer, his voice firm and steady. "You stay close to me. They won't touch you while I'm here." Mara looked up at him, unsure. "Why are you helping me, Leon? You don't even know me." Leon held her gaze, serious and honest. "I know danger when I see it. And I don't leave people to face wolves alone." Her breath quivered. "But you should understand something," he continued. "If they came this close, they're desperate. And desperate men don't stop." Mara hugged herself tightly. "What if they come again?" Leon's jaw clenched. "Oh, they will." He took a step back, offering his hand to her. "But next time," he said, "we'll be ready." For the first time in years, Mara didn't feel alone, but she also knew one terrifying truth. The men weren't leaving. They were only waiting. Mara sat inside the dim staff lounge, staring at the floor like it could save her. Her hands were locked together, her breathing sharp and uneven. She had survived so many years by staying quiet, small, invisible, but now her past was walking freely inside. The same hotel. And they had spoken her real name. Leon stood by the doorway, watching her carefully. He didn't push. He didn't demand answers. He simply waited like a man who understood that some truths came out only when the heart finally broke open. "Mara," he said softly. She wiped her eyes quickly. "I'm fine." "No," Leon replied, stepping closer. "You're terrified. And you're trying to carry too much alone." She turned her face away. "You shouldn't be involved. They're dangerous." Leon shrugged lightly, like danger meant nothing to him. "So am I." Mara almost laughed, but pain blocked the sound. She stood up and walked toward the window, watching guests laugh in the lobby below, living normal lives she could never have. Then something inside her snapped. "You want to know my truth?" she said suddenly. Leon nodded once. "Only if you choose to tell it." For a moment, Mara said nothing. Then words spilled out, slow and heavy, the kind of truth that lived in scars. "I was born far from here," she began. "In a small place where nobody expected a girl like me to learn languages. But I loved words. I loved decoding them. So when I grew older, I became a translator." Leon stayed silent, his full attention locked on her. "But I didn't translate normal things. I worked for big European corporations. High-level meetings. Private deals. Secret conversations." She swallowed hard. "I saw everything. I heard everything." Her hands tightened until her knuckles turned white. "One day, I heard something I shouldn't have. A conversation between two men. They talked about moving money illegally, millions. They talked about hiding crimes. And they said one thing that changed everything for me." Her voice dropped to a whisper. "They said anyone who heard them would disappear." Leon's expression hardened like stone. "I tried to stay quiet," Mara continued. "But someone told them I was in the room next door, listening. They came for me that night. I barely escaped." She squeezed her eyes shut, remembering the chase, the cold streets, the fear of every shadow. "I crossed borders. I used fake names. I cleaned houses, washed dishes, hid in cheap hotels. And then, I came here. I thought I could live a small, safe life." Leon exhaled slowly. "They never stopped looking." "No," Mara said. "They think I kept proof. They think I have files or recordings. That's why they want me alive. For now." Leon's jaw tightened. Mara could see anger in his eyes, not at her, but at the people who hunted her. "Mara," he said carefully, "I need you to understand something. You didn't choose this war. They dragged you into it." She shook her head. "You don't understand. They'll kill anyone who helps me. They're powerful, untouchable." Leon stepped closer, lowering his voice. "You truly think I'm scared of them?" She looked at him, confused. "What do you mean?" Leon reached into his pocket and pulled out a small black card again, the one she recognized at a glance. The symbol on it belonged to an international private intelligence network. A resource only billionaires, governments, or high-level operatives had access to. "You," she whispered. "How? Why?" Leon spoke calmly, but his words carried the weight of a man who had seen darkness before. "I've been tracking that same corporation for years. They stole money from people I care about. They damaged lives. And they think they're invisible." He paused, his eyes locking with hers. "But they made a mistake." "What mistake?" she whispered. Leon leaned in slightly. "They came after you, the one person who knows enough to destroy them." Mara's breath caught. Leon extended his hand again, gentle, steady, unshaking. "Let me help you finish what they started," he said. "You don't have to run anymore." A tear escaped her eye. She didn't wipe it. Because for the first time in years, someone wasn't running away from her danger. Someone was running toward it, for her. The night at Royal Crest Hotel was supposed to be calm. Soft jazz played in the lobby. Security guards made slow rounds. Guests relaxed in warm lights and expensive couches. But inside Mara's chest, A storm screamed nonstop. She sat in a small back office with Leon, going over everything she remembered: names, accents, dates, the night she escaped years ago. Leon analyzed every detail like a man putting together a battlefield map. But danger didn't wait. Not anymore. At exactly 1:17 a.m. The hotel's fire alarm beeped once, then cut off. Lights flickered. Security cameras glitched for 2 seconds. Just enough time. Leon's eyes snapped to the ceiling. "They're here." Mara froze. "How do you know?" "Because that wasn't a glitch," he said. "That was someone forcing the system to restart." Before she could respond, a loud thud echoed from the far hallway. Heavy boots, fast steps, no voices. Mara's breath hitched. She knew those footsteps. She had heard them in parking garages, train stations, and dark corners across Europe while running for her life. Leon grabbed her hand. "Come, now." They moved quickly into the service corridor. The hallway lights flickered again, this time longer. Leon pulled out his phone and connected to a private security app. The screen showed red dots entering the hotel from 3 different entrances, 3 teams, 3 paths, 1 target. "Mara, listen carefully," Leon said as they hurried down the narrow stairs. "They aren't here to talk. They're here to take you." Her steps stumbled. "But the hotel, the guests, they don't care," Leon said sharply. "They don't see people. They see profit. And you're an asset they want back." They burst into the laundry room. Large dryers hummed loudly, covering their footsteps. Leon guided her toward a small metal door behind a stack of folded linens. "What is this?" she whispered. "A maintenance tunnel," Leon answered. "Most staff don't even know it exists." He opened the door quietly. A narrow concrete passage stretched into the darkness. "No lights, no sound. Go," Leon said. She hesitated. "What about you?" Leon gave a small smile, calm, strong, unshaken. "I'm right behind you." They stepped inside and closed the door. The darkness wrapped around them like cold air. Only the sound of their breathing filled the tunnel. But then, the laundry room door slammed open. Mara covered her mouth, terrified. Footsteps. Multiple men. Their voices echoing in Dutch. Leon leaned close to her ear. "Stay quiet." The men began searching the laundry room, pushing carts, opening lockers, checking behind machines. One voice barked, "Find her." She couldn't have gone far. Mara squeezed her eyes shut. She could almost feel their presence through the metal door. The tunnel felt smaller. The air felt thinner. Leon placed a steady hand on her shoulder. "You're doing fine," he whispered. "Just wait." Minutes passed like hours. Finally, the men moved on toward the elevators again. Leon exhaled slowly. "We need to move before they circle back." They walked deeper into the tunnel. The ground sloped downwards. The air got colder. Pipes rattled overhead. Mara whispered, "Why are they so desperate?" "Because losing you," Leon said, "would expose everything they've built. You're the key they can't afford to lose." "But I have nothing," she said. "I didn't take files." Leon shook his head. "Mara, you heard things nobody else did. And they don't need proof. They need silence." Her stomach twisted. Suddenly a flashlight beam flickered behind them. Mara spun around. Shadows moved at the tunnel entrance. "They found the door," she whispered. Leon's eyes sharpened. "Run!" They sprinted through the tunnel, footsteps echoing dangerously loud. Behind them, men shouted orders. The beam of light grew stronger, closer. Mara's lungs burned. Her legs shook. But she kept running. The tunnel opened into a basement loading area. Leon scanned the room quickly. "This way." They ducked behind stacked crates just as the tunnel door burst open. Men poured in, 6, maybe 7. One flashed a photo. Mara's photo. Her old face. Her old name. Her past standing right there in the open. Leon whispered. "They want to take you alive." "That means we still have time." Mara's voice trembled. "Time for what?" Leon's eyes hardened with purpose. "To end this," he said. "Before they end you." The basement loading bay felt like a battlefield waiting to explode. Cold concrete. Stacked crates. Faint echoes. And Mara breathing hard, heart racing. Fear clawing at her from every direction. The men from the tunnel fanned out, scanning the area with flashlights. They moved like hunters, quick, silent, precise. Leon placed a steady hand on Mara's shoulder, grounding her. "You're okay," he whispered. "Stay low. Stay behind me." Mara's eyes filled with a fear so deep it felt ancient. "Leon, what if they catch me?" Leon looked at her, calm and sure. "They won't. How can you be sure?" He gave a small, dangerous smile. "Because they came for the wrong Maid." Before she could ask what he meant, Leon tapped his earpiece, an earpiece she didn't even know he wore. "Team Alpha," he murmured. "They're in the basement." "Move in." Mara's breath hitched. "Team what?" Leon winked. "I told you, I'm not just a businessman." Suddenly, faint footsteps echoed from above. From the stairs. From the ventilation walkway. From the service lifts. Not the hunters. Help. Professional help. Within seconds, Leon's private security, Team 6 men in tactical gear, slipped into the basement like shadows merging with darkness. No loud voices. No panic. Just silent, trained confidence. But the hunters didn't freeze. They raised their weapons. Mara gasped. Leon pulled her down behind a crate before the first shot cracked the air. A deep boom echoed across the room. Leon's team moved in a controlled wave. They didn't fire blindly, they aimed to isolate, corner, disable. The hunters weren't ready for a real fight. Not this kind of precision. Mara covered her ears, shaking, but Leon held her tight. "You're safe." "Focus on me," he whispered. A hunter sprinted toward their hiding spot, only to be tackled and pinned by one of Leon's men. Another tried to escape toward the elevator, but 2 guards blocked him instantly. Every path collapsed around them. The hunters were the ones trapped now. And then it was over. 1 minute. 1 minute of chaos to end years of running. Leon signaled his team. "Hold them. We need them alive." The leader of the hunters growled in Dutch. "You think this changes anything?" "She belongs to us." Mara flinched. Leon stepped out, calm but lethal. "No, she belongs to herself." The leader spit on the floor. "You don't know what she heard. She is the liability." Leon stared him down, unfazed. "And you don't know who I am." He pulled out a tablet and swiped across the screen. The basement projector flickered on, showing documents, numbers, offshore accounts, illegal transfers, everything the corporation tried to hide. Mara's eyes widened. "How?" Leon turned slightly toward her. "You didn't have the files, Mara, but I did. I've been collecting evidence for 3 years. You just confirmed the missing parts." The hunter leader's face collapsed with fear. Leon walked closer to him, voice low and sharp. "You chased a woman who only wanted to survive. You hunted her like she wasn't human. Now, you're the one who'll answer for all of it." The hunters were dragged away, shouting and cursing. Leon didn't look at them again. He turned back to Mara. She stood trembling, unsure if she should breathe or cry or fall to her knees. Everything felt too big, too sudden, too unbelievable. Leon stepped closer and lifted her chin gently with his hand. "It's over," he said. For the first time in years, Mara felt the weight lift off her shoulders. Not slowly, but all at once, like chains breaking. A tear rolled down her cheek. She didn't wipe it. She let it fall. "You saved me," she whispered. Leon shook his head softly. "No, you saved yourself long before I arrived. I just helped you finish it." Mara exhaled a deep, shaking release of years of fear. What happens now? She asked quietly. Leon offered a small smile. Now you stop running. And if you're willing, you help me bring down the rest of them. She looked at him, really looked at him. The man who didn't treat her like a servant. The man who didn't fear her past. The man who saw her when no one else did. Mara nodded slowly. I'm ready. Leon extended his hand. She took it. Two people who never should have met now standing together, facing a future neither expected. The camera fades on one final line from Leon. Let's finish this. Together.